Frazlecast, a podcast by a Blizzard fandom about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. Each week we are joined by awesome people around the world of Azeroth and beyond. And I think somebody like Eric Gouder told me that they thought that I pre-recorded this every time. So, nope, I don't pre-record this. And we are still here. The eclipse didn't zap us away. No aliens. We are here.
And none of us gone blind.
True. None of us went blind, which is great.
Speak for yourselves.
No, you've just gone deaf.
Yes.
What?
Exactly. Absolutely. So, this week we are joined by Deceiverr, Jer. We would be joined by Kristen, but she wasn't able to make it tonight. And then Lady Emma. Hello, everybody.
Hey!
Hello.
Greetings.
And salutations. My, you're a tall one.
My, you're a tall one.
Okay, that was better than me. Yep. So, everyone, how was your week this week? And wow, let's start with Jer.
All right. I've had a pretty busy week, actually. Been having a good time in game, working on some alts. I finally got a hunter up to 110.
Nice.
Congrats.
Thank you. And he actually was a gnome, but he's been race changed to a dwarf because, I don't know.
Because
We have a
hunters
lot of
are
hunters.
dwarves.
Yeah, it's got to be a dwarf. What else did I do? I got a second priest up to 110, so I already had a horde. I had an undead priest at 110, but this time I got a gnome priest up to 110. I've kept working on my warlock because I'm just having a lot of fun playing him. I got the frost hidden appearance on my mage, which I didn't even know how to get it. I just happened to port into the class hall, and there's like a little message that pops up on the screen telling you that the portals are crackling or something like that. So you go through the portal, and it's probably the easiest one that I've gotten because you just go through the portal. There's an NPC there that says, "Hey, talk to this guy." You go talk to that guy, and he hands you the artifact appearance.
Congrats.
It was pretty nice.
My best friend's been trying to get that one, and it's completely random.
So it's another one like the arcane one. You just have to show up there and hope that it clicks for the day.
Exactly, because I think you have 3 portals that you can click.
Oh, so you have to click on the right portal as well?
Right portal and everything. So it was a pain, and I believe she still doesn't have it.
Okay, so she probably wouldn't be too happy to hear me then say that I just clicked on a random portal.
Nope, not at all.
You got lucky. All right.
Nice.
And I think it was also this past week I've been extremely lucky because I got one of the Nightfall and rep chests, and I got one of the legendaries I've been looking for, and out of the same crate I got the lay woven carpet mount.
Oh,
Congrats.
nice.
Thank you. Other than that, I've been working on a Goblin Rogue, so I don't have them up too high. I think I'm at like level 11 or something like that. And trying to solve a problem with something's wrong with my BattleNet launcher. I had a bunch of problems last week with my computer crashed like 4 times. It would just shut down and reboot. And after the last time, my launcher just wouldn't launch. It just says BattleNet starting, and then it sits there forever. So I've tried a couple things that I saw in the forums, but none of them have worked. And the next steps to take that were recommended to me were, deleting all those folders, which I just don't feel like going through right now. So I've just been launching the game from the actual application.
Wow. And then you have to like log in by hand, like in the old vanilla days.
Yep. So I have not been able to see the shiny new game that's sitting in the launcher, Destiny 2.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't been able to see that yet. So
Is it
maybe this
free,
week
or do we have to pay for it?
No, Destiny 2 is a paid game, but on Windows it's showing up in the launcher. Still not on Mac,
Yes.
and probably never will be on Mac.
Because Mac sucks and PC is amazing.
Macs are great in a lot of different ways. I'm a Mac and a PC fan.
Well, careful. This podcast is recorded on a Mac, so careful.
I know a lot of podcasts that are recorded on Macs.
Because they have an amazing software. I mean, Audio Hijack. Sorry, I'm geeking out on podcast tech. Anyway, back to Jer. Sorry.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it, though. That was my week. I was finally able to play a lot more. I had taken the previous about 3 weeks. I was trying to play the minimum amount that I could, just because I was dealing with some wrist and elbow issues on my mouse hand. So taking a rest and playing some other games. I was playing Overwatch on Xbox, so taking the break really helped out, and I've been ramping up my playing time, and it's a good time too because got 7.3 coming next week. So.
Oh, absolutely, and it looks amazing. And any AP that you would get now would technically be negated by what you get in 7.3.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
so that's
always
about it.
Nice, and yeah, it's always good to take breaks and yeah, not to wear yourself out and stuff like that. Nice. So let's go to coin flip. I'm going to mentally flip a coin, and
You could just let Emma go before me.
Okay, Lady Emma. I rolled cats, so you go.
Yay! All right. So me for World of Warcraft, did some LFR.
Nice.
Finally got the rep up to Exalted and finished the storyline on the Broken Shore, so I could go for the class mount, which was pretty simple. I'm a little disappointed I can't get my purple coloring because the silly rare is not coming up, so I can't beat them.
The rare?
Yeah, the rare. I'm basically waiting. Apparently, on the Broken Shores, it rotates every 20 minutes, and it's usually about 1 to 2 rares will be up at a time. So I'm waiting for the rotation, and it will be just random if it's going to be up.
At least that's a little better than I was trying to get the tomes for my mage over in Dalaran. Oh, that was painful.
What did you have to do?
You had to farm this, well, not farm, but you had to watch this NPC that would randomly respawn different tomes after a certain time, and I just kept like open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. And other people would come in at the same time. It's like, no, I'm here. Open, close, open, close, open, close. I finally got it at like midnight one night.
Wow. Yeah, no, the Warlock one's pretty easy. You get 3 quests, collect 50 owl blood, buy stuff off the auction house if you don't have those professions, and do one of the Legion assaults. And at the very end of the scenario, you pick up an item, and then you give it to the guy, and then the guy opens a portal, and then you go into another scenario. So it's pretty simple.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I started ignoring Deceiverr because it was talking to me as I'm trying to defeat the last guy to get the mount. And I'm like, no, gotta concentrate. So, sorry, Deceiverr, I was ignoring you.
I'm kind of used to it from teachers at school, so don't worry about it.
I'll never ignore Deceiverr. Wait, did he just talk?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm used to it.
Tough crowd.
Nice on the class mount and stuff like that. The
Yep,
Warlock one looks cool.
I just want the purple one. The red one is simple. I just need to get enough artifact power to fill up the middle token. Once I get that middle token thing done, then I can buy the other one for like 1,000 resources, which they're just kind of sitting collecting dust anyway. So sure, why not?
Absolutely.
So yeah, the red one's easy to get. It's just this purple one because you're waiting for a rare.
Yeah.
I think Gowder just discovered his new nickname in the Discord server, along with his new role.
Though technically, also he was not the one in the video. Just FYI.
I saw him in it? Was that not him?
That was not him. That was my friend Colin.
Oh. Well, considering the whole thing with the 7 o'clock news anyways, I think it's still appropriate.
Absolutely.
I did put you in the
Well, I think
I was going to give you the name, but you took away my admin privileges, so I couldn't mess with your nickname.
Oh no, and I'm not going to let anybody take care of my nickname.
I was trying to get him to change Craig's name to Mike the TV, and he had no clue what I was talking about.
Craig, the way he works, I've tried changing his name and stuff, and he always goes back to Craig. So I think Craig's just unchangeable.
But you know what Mike the TV is from, right?
Yes. Can you refresh my memory? It sounds so familiar.
Reboot.
Still blanking on the name.
No. How about you, Jared? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, wasn't that very poorly animated CGI cartoon?
It was supposed to be poorly animated because it was in the computer system.
Oh, was that on PBS? Or at least the Canadian version of PBS?
Well, Yeah, ours was on YTV. Is where I watched it.
Okay, yes, I do remember Reboot, and as a kid, I never wanted to watch it. I don't know why. I'm
But
sorry.
it's such a good show. It's
I'm sorry.
really
It's just
good.
I never felt like watching it. But then again, I had PBS, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. So
Okay, the whole series is on YouTube. Watch
Okay.
it on YouTube.
Or, and here's a really crazy idea. Bet you'll never think of this one. You could also watch the Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney were so much better back when you were a kid, Frazley.
Oh,
Like the
absolutely.
early 2000s, late 90s, so much better back then.
Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire. We had Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cow and
Oh,
Chicken,
I love Courage.
Dexter's
I
Laboratory.
remember. Oh, yeah, Dexter's Lab was great. I actually am more fond of some of the slightly later stuff in like the mid 2000s, like Danny Phantom or Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was the stuff that I remember watching.
Yeah, I watched the Last Airbender. The movie was horrible.
Oh yeah,
It really was.
I've seen a lot of the Airbender. Some of the later 2000s was when I was actually I stopped watching a lot of cartoons back then. So please forgive me. I remember more of the earlier stuff.
I am 30 and I still watch cartoons.
Oh, I do too. I watch
Cartoons are life.
They are. I love watching them with my nephew, and I still watch He-Man and She-Ra.
Yeah, so Avatar: The Last Airbender, in my opinion, is one of the best shows of all time. And
yeah.
I also will concur the movie is an abomination.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think of the remake, what they did with the next generation of the Airbenders?
Oh, yeah, The Legend of Korra.
So I liked Legend of Korra, but I didn't think it was... It just wasn't as good to me. Even if I had never seen The Last Airbender, I don't think I would have... it just didn't connect as good as Avatar did.
I found her very whiny and annoying.
Yeah, and I was fine with her character being different. Like, I didn't want them to just have the Avatar be the same. It was kind of interesting almost to have an Avatar because Aang was a little hesitant about his powers and unsure of himself, whereas Korra was just like, yeah, I'm the Avatar, I'm going to kick everybody's ass, basically.
I think they could have done a little better than Korra. They could have done someone that was a little more in between Aang and Korra, who was a little more well-balanced of a character, because Aang was definitely a little excessively hesitant and focused too much on what the airbending monks taught him, whereas Korra is just too focused on causing as much destruction as she possibly can. I feel like they could have done a little better. They could have done like a nice in-between character that could have potentially even been better than Aang for like entertainment value.
Yeah, which, I'm still hoping that they'll come back in a couple of years and have another series. But my main problem with Korra was with Avatar: The Last Airbender, I liked pretty much every character on that show, and with Korra, I just didn't really care about any of the characters. Whenever the Avatar characters would come back in, then my interest was grabbed again. But that was about it.
I found this one was more directed towards females because it had a lot of more female drama, chick flick feel, where it's basically she's trying to date the fire guy, and all the stuff that was happening. It was very high schoolish.
Which
so was Avatar.
She was a little older than, I think she was supposed to be like 15, whereas Aang was about 10, 11.
No, Aang was 12, and you're not supposed to be told that you're the Avatar. At least in The Last Airbender, he wasn't supposed to find out that he was the Avatar until he was 16. I think Korra is about 16-ish.
Okay.
I thought it was okay for them to know as long as they start showing signs that they can control other elements.
No, they actually weren't supposed to be told until they were 16. At least in The Last Airbender, they practically retconned that with The Legend of Korra, because at the very first episode, which is pretty much the only one I've seen, she blasts through the wall as this like terrifying 3-year-old that can earthbend, waterbend, and firebend. Like, she already knew. She figured it out on her own.
Yeah, it had a couple characters I really couldn't stand either. What was his name? Varric. Couldn't stand him. I thought he was too silly. Like, the show in general was a little more serious than The Last Airbender, but then you had this completely ridiculous character of Varric in there, and Bolin I thought was like he was just kind of a useless character. Which again, Avatar: The Last Airbender, there was nobody who was superfluous in my opinion, at least.
I mean, Sokka was obviously comic relief, but they did it well because he was capable of being serious when he needed to be. He wasn't just a complete idiot at all times.
Yeah, and
just like 80% of the time.
I couldn't stand how I watched some interview with M. Night, and he's going on and on about how him and his family are such big fans of the show. And I'm like, so you were these huge fans of the show, but you couldn't even pronounce characters' names correctly in the movie.
I'm wondering if with that he had the direction, but then people came in and were like, "No, I know it better."
Yeah, I'm not sure what went wrong, other than practically everything.
Yeah,
I'm bad with names, and I'm a fan of the show. Actually, I don't remember many of their names. I'm really, really bad with names. Like, my best friend, just putting it out there, took me 3 years to remember her name.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, so if I can remember someone's name or even pronounce their name properly is a huge milestone, and you should feel honored.
yeah. Sometimes I'll remember people's names, but sometimes I'm not so good. And when you're dancing a lot, you have to know people's names, and I'm like, you are, and like my mind will tell me something else. Like I know their name, but my mind at the moment I have to say it will tell me that somebody else's name. Like, no, that's not it. So I'm stuck there for a second, just staring at them. I should be like the guy in like Parks and Rec. Ann Perkins, Leslie Knope, Ann Perkins.
Well, I know at least with like The Last Airbender, like I can with TV shows and video games, I can remember the name of anybody. The second you say, "Here is this real person. Their name is Bob." The next day, I would probably walk up to them and go, "Your name is Philip, right? Or was it John?"
Yeah, I'd be the same way. That I know the character versus the person.
But the first time I heard it in Oblivion, I easily remembered the name Mehrunes Dagon. I'm probably butchering it, but
and I will just call everyone Bob.
Well, and Bob. Or Deceiverr. How was your week in WoW?
Pretty uneventful, at least in WoW, but that's because yesterday and today, first 2 days of school, I hate my life already. I have a computer science teacher. The real computer science teacher is out on maternity leave. Good for her. But our substitute for the next 3 months doesn't know how to use a computer.
That sounds like a problem.
Yeah.
It is. She couldn't figure out how to play a YouTube video or even get captions on the YouTube video.
Wow. How old is she?
I think she's in her 60s.
Okay. Well, no, my Opa knows how to do that, and he's in his 90s.
And this is your computer arts teacher?
Computer science, yeah.
Wow. They can't find a millennial at the college to even intern? Wow.
I'm in the class because I don't know enough about the stuff, and I'd like to know a lot more, but I'll guarantee I would do a much better job of teaching it than this current person is doing.
Absolutely. Wow, because can't even turn on captions on YouTube. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty pathetic. I mean, I don't expect any normal person to be able to do anything on a computer because it's not their job. But if it's your job to be teaching students how to use a computer, I would expect that you would know how to use a computer.
You had one job.
I think being able to click YouTube videos and find the captions should be at least a minimum requirement for teaching a computer class.
Absolutely.
Especially when we're supposed to be learning Java and C++.
Wow.
Guess they really lowered the bar.
Unless she knows how to do Flash players. Then I understand that.
I don't think she does.
Okay, so
give her a computer from like if you handed her like the ICBM or not ICBM, the IBM, the original giant calculator that was the size of a room, she wouldn't be able to figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably doesn't even know what a floppy disk is.
See, this is where I like my Opa, who is like, he's 96, and he still works on his computer and sends emails and goes on YouTube videos and does all this stuff on his own, programs the VCR, even the new, we have Shaw Cable, that's our cable company. He has a Shaw box and he knows how to set that up. Actually, I think he's with TELUS. So he has a TELUS box and he knows how to set that up. And have a PBR, and he is 96.
He's ahead of my parents because they wouldn't know how to do some of that stuff, I don't think.
My dad's also very tech savvy as well. And I get my tech savviness from him because my other two sisters, they wouldn't be able to navigate out of a paper bag using a computer.
So Deceiverr. So I take it you didn't get a lot of WoW time?
No, because I was busy going to the counseling office and trying to get to the principal to get this person replaced with someone who actually knows what they're doing.
Okay. So,
because otherwise I'm going to have to drop the class because there's no point in taking a class for 3 months and not learning anything.
Absolutely.
She's trying to teach the class like it's an Algebra 2 class. And I chose the class because I'm specifically not taking math this year.
Yeah. Well, and there is like some math and coding, but still, yeah, you want to take, you want stuff that'll set you off for college, not set you back.
Exactly. I'm here to learn how to code, not how to graph a parabola.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this teacher either gets their act together or is switched with a different substitutes. That way they can teach, this person can teach something they get, and then we can have a sub who gets computers. I
just got a tweet from somebody who's listening to your teacher's listening to this podcast right now, and she just said, I know how to do YouTube. No, I'm kidding.
All right, what was the name?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Mrs. Fritz.
No. I can barely pronounce this teacher's name last name anyway. So I'm also not going to say it because I don't want to be embarrassing.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. And we want to.
I have that many moral. I have that much morals, barely, but I do.
But you know who doesn't have?
You doing the transitions again, eh, Frazley?
Well, I don't have any morals because I do, but I got Frazley to prestige level 1. Wow.
Well, you obviously have no morals. You play a gnome.
Absolutely. And
apparently he donates his soul to me constantly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So he's not just a moralless gnome. He's also a moralless, soulless gnome. Oh, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. A gnome can't be donating souls to make cookies.
Have you seen my cookies?
Yeah, but gnomes can't donate their souls. No, gnomes don't have souls. They're like gingers.
I don't know how to take that. I've got no words. But you know,
why do you think gingers don't have souls? They donate them to me.
Oh, for like ginger snap cookies?
Exactly.
I'm able to make cookies, and I'm able to skip the whole souls part, and most people like my cookies still, so.
I don't eat
yeah,
cookies.
But the soul just gives it that special flavor that always makes people come back for more.
And you know what else? And you know what other people also want to come back for is Trial of Style.
I swear to Chris Metzen, Frazley.
Hey, I would love to meet Chris Metzen. If you can set it up, it'd be great. But on
yeah. Because a random 17-year-old from California totally knows the guy who basically started World of Warcraft in the first place.
Well, I mean,
apparently
was the lead game designer.
October 14th has the great Nomagan run.
Yes, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. And that's and Lady Emma, you can get a lot of souls from all of the gnomes that die running that run.
Only if they're donated. Other than that, I make synthetics from the ones I borrow.
Again, I guess that's the whole thing.
What the hell?
We want organic because otherwise, I mean, it's all processed food, and then it just goes to your hips.
I know, but I see these donated when you get a lot of angry creatures saying, "How dare you take my soul?" So
yeah, but at least then it's organic.
Absolutely.
Yes, then you can pay the premium price for the organic ones.
Okay. That's fair. Well, and then also is the organic.
What's the
really
premium
organic? Because is the organic regulation truly organic, or is it just a threshold and it's not 100% organic?
Technically, organic can be up to 70% organic. 30% does not need to be organic.
So wait, so see, even the souls that. Okay.
I found that
my cookies
out.
are ruined.
If you get
I'm
any
finding a new
organic
baker.
stuff, if you get any organic stuff from the grocery stores and all that, it says organic. It has to be 70% minimum organic. 30% doesn't need to be.
Well, Fifi, we're not going to shop at this store anymore. We're going to go to a different store.
But my
At least in
organic
California, it has to be. I think it has to be like 85 or 90% organic.
No, it's 70 across the board for U.S. and Canada.
Really? Because I figured in
Yep.
California specifically, they'd have some special laws because California is like obsessed with organic food.
It's a loophole. So GMO products or vegetables and all that can still be grown on an organic farm.
I am not okay with that. I am not okay with that.
But what
I don't mind eating GMO food, but
no one likes GMO food.
No,
I'm not really that
I'm
bothered
fine
by it. I'm not bothered by it, but I'd like to know that if I'm getting something that says non-GMO, that it's genuinely non-GMO and not just 70% not GMO.
Well, then
No,
you know
if
what?
it says non-GMO, then you're fine. But if it doesn't say non-GMO and it says organic, it can still be GMO.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that.
Well,
I'm going to call up my senator.
yeah. But
I can use Frazley's gnome voice so they think it's Frazley complaining.
It's a loophole. Like the Canadian McDonald's used to say that their beef hamburgers were 100% beef because that's the company they bought the beef from.
Interesting.
So it was a loophole, and it went on for quite a while until someone caught on that there was other fillers in the beef, and now they have to be 100% Canadian beef. But it went on for quite a while with that out. Same thing with the French fries were known as not organic, vegetarian. But they do a double deep frying. So the first deep frying, which is at the warehouse, is actually in a beef fat. And then it goes to a veggie fat once it goes to the stores.
Interesting.
Yeah. Here in America, they still say it's 100% real beef, but there have been tests done on the patties, and there's still actually like something crazy like 85 or 90% filler. But that 10 to 15% that's actual beef, that is 100% legitimate.
For Subway, their chicken is not really chicken. It's like the least amount of actual chicken meat ever.
I'm not going to Subway again.
Jared Fogle. That's my reason for not going.
But
to quote Cards Against Humanity, and this is like the one bad thing I'll say, so you can edit it out as you please. Jared Fogle's $5 footlong. Moving on.
So on Trial of Style, I won first place.
Congrats!
It was on freestyle, so I had a really cool gnome. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic. I had a really cool gnome engineering style.
How did a gnome get first place?
Well, because
Panda got first place twice in a row.
I had a really cool transmog.
Crazy.
It had like gears on it, and then I was holding a gear, so it was actually kind of a cool little thing. And then I got a second, third, and then honorable mention on the other ones. But it was fun. I realized I got to do some more transmog stuff. Silver stayed up till like 4 a.m. in the morning working on all this stuff, so she has all the armor. But yeah, no, I didn't get that. And then we had the solar eclipse. I got my rogue to level 54.
So did anyone else stare at the sun?
I didn't have glasses for it, so no.
Well, are the glasses like $40 or something?
It depends on how soon you bought it, because like some were like 5 to 10, and you wanted to at least make sure you didn't get counterfeit glasses.
Yeah,
the counterfeit glasses.
Sold a whole bunch of counterfeit ones, and they had to give everyone their money back.
I had some of the bogus ones from Amazon. They sent me an email telling me not to use them. But luckily, a brother of mine had some extra pairs. So
yeah, I got to see it. There's this guy in front of the store he works at. He was letting everyone try it so they can see it. And then I work in a medical building, so a whole bunch of people came down with x-rays, and you could see it through the x-rays. But it doesn't protect your eyes, so it's still bad.
Okay. Yeah, I was walking, so I didn't look up, but I saw the temperature change. I saw the lighting around me change. It was creepy. It was actually pretty creepy having that.
I felt like the colors got a little bit more vibrant, almost like rich.
Well, here it was a little cloudy, so it might not have gotten as vibrant, but it was still. You saw the temperature go down and then went back up again. That was weird.
It was only covered by 90% where I am, so the temperature didn't change, but the coloration of everything did, and it really reminded me of the old TV show Sliders.
Don't think I've seen that one.
It's a Canadian. One of the episodes, because basically these people go to a whole bunch of different parallel worlds. So they're still on Earth, same location on Earth, but they're different worlds, different things have happened. Anyways, one of the worlds, the sun got too close and everything, and just the saturation that they did with the brightness of the sun outside, it just reminded me of what happened.
Yeah, here it felt. What was weird for me was seeing it get darker, but then seeing the sun, seeing where I could feel where the sun was, but it felt like dusk. That was the weird part. My brain kept saying, "Why is it darker?" But yet there's the sun's above you. That was the weird part.
Yeah, we only had like 90% coverage here near Chicago too, and plus it was a really overcast day, so it was a little disappointing, unfortunately.
But in 2024, I think we're more in the line for it then. So I'll make sure to get some glasses.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to go right over Indianapolis. So my plan right now, at least, is to try to head out to Indianapolis, and this time look for a hotel like a year in advance.
Yeah, at least. Because now people are thinking about it. So now these glasses probably go out of stock even more. Let's get into the WoW news. No
new news. Nothing new. Nope. Sorry, guys.
Nothing at all new. If you at all wanted to get Legion, now is the time. Legion is on sale through September 5th. For European players, the standard Legion is €29.99, down from $44.99. The Digital Deluxe Edition is $44.99, down from $59. And for
if you want to have a recruit a friend, I have the battle chest all ready for someone.
So yep, tweet at Lady Emma, and she will get you hooked up for the battle chest, and then North American players is $29.99, down from $49.99 US dollars, and the Digital Deluxe Edition is $49, down from $69. But I think the thing that surprised me most is I wonder, does Blizzard listen to Frazley? Did we get them to not reveal the expansion at Gamescom? Because we had discussed this a couple episodes ago. We had said that we didn't want them to reveal anything at Gamescom. Well, they didn't reveal anything at Gamescom. Gamescom was all about 7.3.
Did Gamescom already happen?
A lot of polls. A lot of polls that was on Twitter about when the next expansion to be revealed, and you can see that people want it to be at BlizzCon.
Oh, absolutely, because I was listening to a couple podcasts. I think like one was like I think one was BattleNet News on Convert to Raid, but I was just doing a couple different ones, and they all said BlizzCon until the 15th felt not as fun because the big reveal had already happened. So there's still hope for November, and I'm definitely hoping it's in November.
And then there's this big thing that's coming, and people are thinking this is the last patch or last part of this expansion, and then we'll have a year of nothing but this, and they're scared right now.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that we'll see like a 7.4, 7.45, or at least even. What if this was one of the last big content patches, but we have like little micro patches with quality of life changes? Right now,
you mean like how patch 6.1 in Warlords was just this big patch about getting a selfie camera?
No,
Yep, I remember that, and I did the achievement all within the 24 hours of getting that selfie camera.
no. Like, what if
I
they had
never
more
even
time
used
walking? I use mine all the time. If you're in a raid, sometimes you'll hear click, 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 click.
Well, I know you use it, at least yours, because I remember back when we used to be doing a lot of the old raids, we would always end up taking a picture. Although I don't think I used the selfie camera. I think I just took a regular screenshot.
I like-
a
Most of
normal
the time
person.
I do a screenshot, I don't have time to do the selfie. You lose everything by the time you pull it out.
That is true. I'm more like the facial animations with the selfie camera. They also unveiled the opening cinematic. That was pretty cool.
I did watch that.
And yeah, Taryn Gregory's team and the Blizzard cinematic team are amazing. I know I'm the fan gnome, but that was amazing. I was just like, wow.
I thought it was really cool. Although I will say, Illidan was being a bit of a jerk.
That's Illidan.
But it was appropriate for his character, considering, he is Illidan and he is a jerk.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But that's part of why he's so cool.
I was reading from some people how they want him being back as a raid boss or a dungeon boss where we kick his butt again.
I think
No.
I'm thinking that we're heading that way because I can see Illidan getting power to his head. I mean, if you look at some of the quests he did in Legion, Illidan let power get to his head.
Yeah, I can see that.
And yeah, if you haven't already heard, and if you're wondering why we're talking about the 7.3 opening cinematic, because patch day is August 29th. So by the time you get this recording, and if you're listening to it on Monday, it'll be the next day. Or if you're listening on Tuesday during maintenance, then it'll be later that day. Or if you're listening afterwards, well, then you already have patch 7.3. But yeah, it's August 29th. Yeah.
I feel like it's a little too soon, only because I've been gone for 4 months. But I will totally be honest, I am lonely right now. I've been trying to find people to play with, and no one's able to, or they're just running mythics, and I'm like, I don't want to run mythics.
Are you and you're in the Convert to Raid guild?
I am in the Convert to Raid guild.
Okay, and have you been asking in Discord?
I try not to go into other people's Discords because I feel like I don't know these people. I'm scared.
The Convert to Raid Discord's pretty open, so I'm definitely going there and just there's a looking for group channel because there's plenty of teams, and even one I'd recommend is the COD Squad.
Yes, COD Squad I am part of.
Okay.
They're awesome, but like I said, they mainly focus. Well, a lot of them just focus on doing dungeons, and I can get a little bored of dungeons. I can do 1 or 2, and I'm good.
Okay. Well, I don't think he'll get bored of 7.3, and there's going to be some good side quests to do in 7.3, some good content, and I think people will do a lot more group content in 7.3. So, definitely use some of those catch-up mechanics as well.
I really want to be part of the naked raid runs.
They're every Sunday night.
Okay, so I have to be on it Sunday night. See, this is good information to know.
Though Deceiverr just did one today as well, so definitely join the Summoning Stone and talk with Deceiverr and CTR because he just ran a transmog run yesterday or today, and I wasn't able to make it, but yeah, people are starting to do that more.
When you see stuff like that, just send me a message so I know.
Okay, message Emma about mog runs. Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Jer, let's see if you're gonna sound, not broken now.
I don't hear anything right now, so let's move on.
His little thingy in Discord didn't even light up.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he doesn't even have his mic. Yeah, he is broken.
Discord.
So, I'm just gonna complain about food for a second.
Oh, sure.
In real life, my freezer didn't die. It got kind of unplugged somehow. We're still trying to figure out how, and everything defrost by the time we noticed. So that means we had a lot of food to eat. Well, I bought these poutine pizza pockets. And I was expecting them to be, hey, poutine's great. I'm very disappointed with them as there was no cheese curds in them. None. It was just gravy and little chunks of potatoes. That's it. No cheese curds. I need the cheese curds.
I think I had a pizza pocket. I was discussing this with somebody, pizza pockets versus pizza bagels. It's like the pizza pockets have actual pizza in them. The pizza bagels just have a little bit of sauce on top. So I don't like those as much.
See, I grew up on pizza bagels, but then again, my mom made homemade little mini pizza bagels.
Nice. That sounds delicious.
Yeah. So when I was like probably, I don't know, 7 for like the party activity, everyone got to make their own like little pizza bagels the way they want and then throw them in the oven.
Now I want some pizza bagels.
But pizza pockets, I only get the 3 cheese because most of the time they have beef in it and I can't eat beef. So the poutine ones, I looked down the whole ingredients. There's no beef, which was like, yay. So I thought that would be great, but yeah, no, it's lacking the cheese curds.
Yeah, and who wants poutine without, I don't think I've had poutine.
Cheese curds.
Yeah.
You need cheese curds.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do you do?
What the fell even is poutine?
I don't know.
Okay, so poutine was created in Quebec, Canada. So poutine is a French word, which I don't remember what it means. And what it is you get French fries, cheese curds, and then you pour hot drizzling gravy on top of that.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
It's really good. So the cheese curds, if you have them room temperature when you put the gravy and the hot fries, it melts them. Now, the key thing is do not salt your fries because the salt from the gravy and the cheese will like salt it enough. I've been to some restaurants where they'll still salt the fries and then they put the cheese curds and then the gravy and then it just like overloaded with salt and it's not that great. But then again, I'm not going to make that comment. But with the cheese curds have to be room temperature. If they're too cold, they don't melt properly and they don't get that kind of stretchy, cheesy part like mozzarella does.
Okay.
Every time you mention food, I always end up starving like 5 seconds later.
Same. I'm the same.
Swear to Metzen.
So what you're telling me is I need to just keep sending you guys photos of all the food that I make and what I'm eating and
yes, and also send us
just keep those cupcakes to a minimum.
Gadzooks, spoiler warning. Yes, and also send us pictures of Argus, like the Vindicar. That will be the hub for this patch, which it'll be a teleportation hub. The location of the Netherwing Crucible, in which you can also upgrade using things. Oh, that's cool! You can upgrade the Vindicar using things on Argus. Oh, that's awesome.
What's a Vindicar?
The Vindicar is going to be the ship because
spoiler alert, Frazley.
This was in the reveal ceremony. This was sorry. Yeah, spoiler alert.
You know that there are people who choose not to watch that because they don't want spoilers, right?
Okay, I apologize.
Skip ahead.
Yeah, skip ahead.
Skip ahead in the live as we're live. It's like, oh, let's see here. I'll just use my Infinity Stone and Doctor Strange it up. All right, 5 seconds forward. Perfect.
I'm adding a spoiler alert before this. Yep. 1 second. Okay.
I also heard some. I heard something now. I can't remember.
There are invasion points. So how much is
I heard that there's gonna when you're on Argus, there's gonna be portals to go to different worlds that they have invaded.
That's what I've heard too. I've heard that like
I'm gonna see that as like either a scenario or kind of like a cave version type thing where there might be a town or something like that.
And this is where
you guys hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hey, okay. You're alive.
We're discussing.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that.
Oh no, all good. Internet can be weird. we're discussing 7.3 spoilers, and we're kind of talking about portals and things like that, where you either will go to where they are, or you will see stuff. And that's where I'm wondering if Blizzard will use this to prolong content by adding new levels in a way. I mean, I could see this actually being...
You mean like raising the level cap from 110 to, say, 115?
No, not as that, but more like, say, like opening up new portals. So like giving you a small patch, but the patch actually adds new portals to go to. So you can do more stuff, because the one interesting...
No.
What?
Not that. I saw the stuff on the PTR for those little Legion portals to the Legion worlds that they've already conquered. If I'm gonna be honest, it's a cool concept, but the way they did it was trash. It's great for them to be reusing the old world, as long as they're referring to it as the way it was, in my opinion. Because what they did was for one of the worlds, they just stole a chunk out of Northrend and called it its own planet. They stole a chunk out of somewhere in Kalimdor, called it its own planet. Did the same thing, I think, with even Suramar. Stole a chunk out of that. Stole a chunk out of Eastern Kingdoms, Pandaria. They weren't actually making new zones. They literally took pieces of the old zones that just the geography seemed to kind of fit what they were going to be using it for. Or dropped it in and called it a new place, which was kind of lazy.
Well, you are talking about Blizzard.
These are portals around Azeroth that they were going to use to invade.
Yeah, but you're saying that
what they're doing is
planets.
Calling them they're calling them other Legion worlds that they already took over.
Though you have to remember, Blizzard's
have to come from somewhere.
Yeah, well, and this is Blizzard, who does reuse models.
I would have been okay with it if, like, with the Northrend thing, if they made an icy planet. I think that's cool, but I'm pretty sure that you can literally go to that exact icy location in Northrend, which that to me is what seems lazy. If they're just stealing a chunk of an already existing zone, like if they made it in like a similar image and they actually put the effort into creating something that looks different than anything else, because it's just a small little area, that would have been fine. They don't have to make a whole planet.
See, if they've already invaded those places, they're probably going to be covered in green. So think of Northrend covered in green.
And don't forget, we are looking at, this is PTR. What if they're going to modify textures and stuff by the time when day comes?
It could be just their template, so they have something so that people can test out the portals.
But I do see.
I really hope that's just what it is.
Yeah, because I do see your point, Deceiverr, that if you can go to the same area and it's, hey, look, this is a different place, and you go, no, I'm here. Yeah, that does seem a little lazy. But it could also be, what if they're putting the resources into? Oh no, yeah. Then this gets into,
that'd be pretty disappointing.
Yeah,
recycle like that.
And then this gets into the whole stuff with, like, they weren't putting resources into Warlord because they were putting resources into Legion, and if they're putting resources into the next expansion and not putting it into Legion, then they're just repeating what they did for Warlords.
Yeah, but I think they've already proven they've gone way beyond Warlords. That's done.
Oh yeah, Legion is so much better than Warlords. Even if they at least say half of the resources into the next expansion, they're still doing so much better with Legion than they did with Warlords. It's excusable because they do have to work on the next expansion.
Yeah,
I'm not going to deny that. They have to be putting a decent sum of people onto it because it's creating a whole expansion.
They'll have a team to work on the next expansion. Right now, it's probably like the story base and whatever they're doing. For this content, they have another separate team that's just focusing on Legion.
Yeah, but like with the thing with the planet, with their quote-unquote new planets, I think it would have been way cooler if they just kind of brought back like the pre-patch Legion invasions, only just broadened it to new zones, but doing it in that same format as opposed to the format that they have on the Broken Isles. I don't really like that. I really did enjoy the pre-patch, though. That was just cool.
A lot of the pre-patch stuff is, I don't know, I find fun.
That was fun. I enjoyed, like, the different invasions and stuff like that. I did everything I could, and like I got the pocket fell spreader and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got lazy and bought mine off the auction house.
I would have done that if I had.
The most fun I've had since I started was the pre-legends.
Yeah.
Jerry, you're back to robot mode on my end.
Yeah, I missed that too. I'm sorry.
And I got like the different armor and stuff like that. That was fun. They did say that Entorus, this is another spoiler, but they'd already released the name of the biggest raid, and Ian was not wanting to talk about the final boss, so there is some interesting stuff that could show where we're going to go. That's
one thing that I think is really cool is the fact that they're already bringing in 2 of the presumed dead members of the Pantheon, Agramar and Anar.
nice. Are they?
There might be a third that I'm forgetting, but
how they bring those back in? I missed that part.
the way that they were saying it, last I checked at least, I don't think they said anything for Anar, but for Agramar, they showed it as like those 2 did manage to escape while everyone else was getting slaughtered, and they thought they were, home free. They're like, yeah! And then Sargeras notices them and, yanks them back, destroys their souls, and then is now using their hollow husks of bodies to kind of, try to defeat us.
Okay, so he's a boss in the next raid. That what I'm hearing.
Agramar is, yeah. I don't know about Sargeras, probably.
And
Agramar and Anar are going to be both bosses.
And that's what I find cool is that we don't know yet what the final boss is.
Yeah, I'm the guy who likes to find out everything way ahead of time, so I'm like on the edge of my seat, just waiting to find out.
Oh, me too. I don't care if I can't play the raid for a long time. I'm fine knowing what happened in the raid because by the time I get to it, it'll be old content anyway. And
all things considered, based on what I've managed to pick up about when you. Yeah, have you killed Kill Jaden yet?
Not yet.
On LFR.
Yeah, Frazley, have you killed him?
Nope. Because Blizzard took away one of my incentives to kill him because the Argus is shown to everybody. I was like, okay. So I've been doing other things. I've been working on my rogue. He's finally level 54, I think.
You level kind of slowly, don't you?
Yeah, I get distracted and stuff. And
You know what? I haven't picked up the Iron Man lately, but the amount of time it took me just to get like 10 levels on Iron Man, and then me playing with my friend with all the heirloom gear, it's frustrating to level a low level character.
An interesting thing on that is while I was going to the there was an interview between Blizz Planet and PC Games N, and apparently Blizzard wants to pursue zone scaling technology to aid in leveling. So kind of make it either easier or more challenging and more interesting to do older content. If I was hearing that right, that they might have discussed something different, and I might have completely missed it. But
I wouldn't mind it being like super easy because I want to get to max level as fast as I can.
But
they better not make it easier because it's already part of why I find the early level stuff so boring is it's too easy.
Yeah, it's there's not much of a challenge as long as it's balanced for it, because some of the earlier levels aren't scaled for challenge. They're hard enough on some classes and specs. Being
where I just want to skip it all and just like be max level, but I don't want to pay for it.
Okay, yeah, because I was about to say you can boost if you want to skip it all. I kind of enjoy.
Shouldn't be $60. Those are way overpriced. They should be maybe 20 or 30.
I kind of agree, but I was talking with Gentleman Sour, and he boosted his first character, didn't enjoy it. He's actually enjoying leveling up through the game and kind of learning things. So there was something to be said to making it a little harder to boost. One plus boosts probably make Blizzard a lot of money.
See, for me, I have boosted one character and on a new server. And yes, I would have to agree that boosting up on a new server, it kind of sucked because I didn't have any of, because I didn't level it at 60, boost at 60, which I probably should have. have all the professions or the gold or the resources, and I don't find that character enjoyable because I'm lacking out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it is kind of nice sometimes to play through. I like Frazley was 1 to 110, and like I said, my rogues could be 1 to 110 played, but there are days it's tempting. Yeah, and just for anybody that is wanting to go to Argus on a new 110, according to the same interview between Blizz Planet and PC Games N, it will be tough for new 110s on Argus, but there are many catch-up mechanics. So you just play around on the shores, and then you'll be good to go on that.
So basically, if my Demon Hunter isn't even high enough to get into LFR Tomb of Sargeras, I better not Legion yet, or to Argus yet.
Unless you have a buddy friend who is good enough and you just stay behind them.
And don't forget...
Well, I used to, but Frazley changed his only Horde character to Alliance.
I liked his posture better as a human.
You couldn't just race change him to a Blood Elf?
I don't like Horde. Oh, one thing
you choose the right side. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely. One interesting thing that came out of the same interview by Blizz Planet, because we were talking about like the content drought. They did say, and it sounds like they were hinting at less of a content lull between Legion and next expansion. So I think they are fully acknowledging there was a bad content drought. Now,
they're not directly acknowledging it. There's no way they'll ever directly acknowledge that, because that would be admitting they made a mistake, and they don't do that.
Sometimes. I think they're getting better sometimes at doing it, but I could also be biased. And I admit that.
Very biased.
I'm the Blizzard fandom. You have to admit that.
Nerd.
I'm glad. Gladly a nerd.
Did we lose Jer again?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We did.
Sorry, Jer. Sometimes I had this. I was on a MMO reporter stream, and my internet kept cutting out.
Poor Jer. I'm sorry.
What I was thinking of before I
distracted you with Jer.
Yeah.
That you totally ignored that he disappeared.
No.
Well, he's just so forgettable. I mean, yeah.
You said it, not me.
Beginning.
You don't like him. What did he ever do to you?
I know, Deceiverr. It's like,
Frazley, help me. Why is Emma attacking me so much today?
Because you're Horde.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
You left your flag PvP on.
I know, yeah, and we're trying to, and now it's friendly. Well, no, it's not friendly fire because it's PvP. Yeah, you left your PvP flag on.
Except I don't do that.
Oh, you did this time.
Yeah, you did this time. It's like when I queued as tank into LFR Wing 3.
How dare you ever say I'm that, just oblivious. I'm oblivious, and I'm stupid, but I'm not an idiot.
I never said anything about Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
You know what? I'm leveling with my friend right now, and because I can't create any more tunes on AP, I decided I'll level on one of the level ones that I've already created, so I don't have to kind of start one. It's already there. And I forgot that this is where my old guild moved to, which is a PvP server.
Ooh, sorry about that.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I keep forgetting that I have to let him be the leader, and I have to let him zone in everything first. And it's so frustrating.
At least the good news is, with that, Season 4 is ending this next week, so then Season 5 starts, so some more honor. And you know what else?
By the way, Emma, if you've been getting ganked by high-level players,
Oh, and speaking
that's what you get for picking the wrong faction.
Speaking of ending next week...
No, it's the stupid undead rogue that just appears out of nowhere and jabs you in the back, like a typical undead rogue.
Yep.
Now hold on a second. Don't you dare be biasing undead. Rogues, go ahead. They're jerks. But undead,
The rogues have always been undead for the horde. That's always plagued me. I have horror stories of classic WoW where I am in Stranglethorn Vale and getting camped by an undead rogue, and I had to get my whole guild to come and save me. And then Angara Crater was the other place that the undead rogues loved to camp me.
Yeah, I remember on my old account before I got screwed over with that and couldn't get back into it because I couldn't prove who I was. But I remember with that, I used to do that to low-level Alliance players while I was on my Death Knight back in Mists.
It was frustrating. Like, I really wish my best friend would move servers, but she won't pay for transfer, and she won't let other people to pay for transfer because she thinks it's a waste of money.
I mean, it is kind of a waste of money.
Yeah, I did that for 12 tunes.
Well, and you know who's not undead? Jaina.
If this is... Oh my god. I mean, oh my Metzen.
Okay, so there's a theory with Jaina, now that we're talking about Jaina, where people think that she's going to come back and be kind of like a boss, and we have to show her, like, my theory is we have to show her the light that she cannot be like Arthas or like Garrosh by killing all the horde / mainly orcs to because she's still building all this anger, because we haven't seen her this expansion and she still hates the horde.
Well, and
Jaina is a dreadlord.
No, Ian said Jaina is not a dreadlord. Here's the Storm, much like Hearthstone, in many ways is not canon when it comes to the lore of World of Warcraft. We will hear more from Jaina in the future, but she is not a dreadlord. That is
no,
strong.
but she's going to be a boss. She's totally going to be a boss.
He could have lied though, because that guy has lied before. And
so where's Raffion?
Raffion, I don't even know. But there are characters in the past who have been possessed by dreadlords and pretended to be normal, but then started to act differently and wreak havoc on everything.
Okay,
like Satan Dathrohan, when he was Satan Dathrohan was killed by, I think, Balnazar or Malgana. Balnazar, and he took over the Scarlet Crusade and started driving them into the ground. And when Sir Thomas, accidentally, lost his marbles and started spouting all those creepy rhymes and basically became the Headless Horseman, he just kept encouraging that. So that way, then the Scarlet Crusade would kill him, behead him. Then he resurrected him with foul magic, and he was actually a dreadlord. It's not good for your organization to have a dreadlord in charge. And no one knew that Satan was not actually a Satan Dathrohan anymore. They still thought that he was. They thought he was Satan Dathrohan. They didn't realize he was Balnazar.
All right, I think I might have this fixed.
Nope.
It sounds better.
Yeah, it sounds better.
I was telling them I had the same issue when I was on MMO Reporter back in the Heroes of the Storm. I kept cutting out sometimes. So
I think you need to talk real slowly, and we might get everything.
Okay.
Nope.
I got the okay. I did. I heard it.
I did too.
I only got the O, and then I figured the rest was K. So
it has to talk more slowly.
And for anybody who wants to get into the BlizzCon contest, the registration is open through the end of the month. So you have
What's
until
the BlizzCon contest?
I think what contest are they doing this year?
Well, they do a cosplay contest every year at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Oh, that type of contest, not like win something contest. Well, they win something if you go to BlizzCon.
Yes. I'm pulling up the contest right now.
I wouldn't really be able to pull off any of the cosplay outfits because, like, my hair would just make me look like a really stupid-looking and poorly proportioned Tauren.
Okay, so there is an art contest.
You do Stitches.
I'm not that fat. Okay, I'm that fat, but still, hey.
Okay, so there's an art contest, a costume contest, movie contest, and a talent contest. That's pretty cool that there's a movie contest this year. Have they always had that?
Yeah, that's. I've always heard it referred to, though, as the Machinima contest. Nixium usually gets third place, like, every year.
Okay, I can see that because he does a good job.
I honestly think he deserved first.
A blank on one of the people I follow on Twitter. She is epic with her cosplays, and she is doing Hogger this year.
Ooh,
really?
Kazul.
Yeah.
Kazi. Yeah, I've seen her walk around in that horror costume. That's amazing. I'm just
all her outfits every year. Last year she was starts with a G.
Corona?
No, give me a sec. I can pull it up.
Male or female character?
Monster.
Monster.
a null.
No, Hogger is a null.
No, he's in Block Rock Foundry. Hold on one sec. Or Gorger.
Nice.
Yeah,
Or
she
Gorger.
did.
Wow.
Yeah, she did that last year, and then she also did. I want to call them Skepsies, but they're not. They're the bird people from Legion, and like she does a phenomenal job on her costumes. What was she the year before that? Like, you have to see. She's on YouTube, and her costumes, the effort she puts into them, is just wow.
Yeah, I'm blown away when I see those because it's just incredible. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to get in on any of these contests, and I recommend starting as soon as you can. But if you want to register, the registration's open through the end of the month, so you have until next Wednesday. Which Wednesday or Thursday, I forget if we have how many days of the week. All I know is I'm submitting Frazley to iHeartRadio on the 30th. But yeah. Oh, and just because I don't want to forget, there is new merchandise coming to the gear store. Sorry, I'm looking at the show notes. And they're adding some like a Azeroth sweater, Horde and Alliance long sleeve shirts, Overwatch stuff, and Blizzard is doing away with one-time exclusives and introducing new loot that will eventually find its way to the gear store. I like that. I mean, like there'll be something that'll still be exclusive, but they're really doing away with that because that way, if they run out at the event, you can still buy it. Oh, and they realize that their audience is larger than just conventions. The weird thing is the gear store is still offline. I think they're doing a huge renovation of that. I mean, I think we're in for a surprise. So buy your tokens.
Do you think by some chance it has to do with the fact that BlizzCon is coming up?
Well, that
and they're trying to encourage people to be buying it at BlizzCon instead of online.
Because they had a problem with the last thing that they did, where they had a whole bunch of stuff and it had to go down. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, well, in BlizzCon there were some store issues, so I think they're working on that. And I think tokens. So buy your tokens now. Looking at some more stuff. Artifact weapon skins are Legion only system. However, players will be able to transmog to appearances associated with artifacts. The only appearances that must be acquired when things are current are the skill-based ones. I can understand that. I really can, because you'll get enough of the transmog that it'll look good. Because I do see.
Yeah, I knew that you would be able to transmog it once Legion is over. What makes me sad is if you haven't gotten them already, you won't be able to transmog into it.
Well, no. This one's saying that even afterwards, you'll be able to get the artifacts. You just won't be able to acquire the skill-based ones.
But what does that mean? Skill-based ones. Like, which ones are they?
Probably challenge mode. Who knows about Chromie?
Probably the PvP one.
Yeah, probably those two, because those typically go away.
I didn't know Chromie had one.
Or no, I'm thinking of transmog. I think, and I don't think Chromie is going away because I think you have plenty of time. I hope, because I need to go on it.
Yeah,
I kind of gave up on it. It was so much of a challenge. Like I couldn't even get one of those places done because my character is too weak. And as a result, I wasn't able to gain any power, any like reputation with Chromie or anything like that. So I was wasting my time.
I got 2 done the first time around.
I still haven't done them yet because I still need to finish Suramar Insurrection. I've got plenty of content to do, so I'm not having a content drought. But then again, that's me. So I'm not worried about finding stuff to do.
I need to do some current raids to get better gear so I can blitz through that.
And Deceiverr, one thing, going back to an earlier point, apparently Argus was designed to be different from usual Legion architecture. So hopefully that means portals will be changed. But if not, yeah. Let's discuss it once we have had a chance to do the portals, just to see if it's what you said, because I'm hoping those are just placeholders. I'm hesitant to say that it is because I can also see it Blizzard being lazy on or not having enough resources for models.
They were actually a little bit lazy with some of the leather gear that you got while you were leveling, because I compared it to some of the leather shoulders from Miss of Pandaria, and if you look closely, they're actually exactly the same, except that these are just like higher resolution and have some extra Norse patterns on them. But they're actually the exact same shape. Like if you took off the texture, same shoulders.
Yeah, I can see them doing that because it does take a little bit of time to model stuff. Yeah.
Right, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Best,
I can hear ya.
Okay.
And that's much better.
Yeah, thanks for the idea, Deceiverr. I didn't even think of logging into.
Yeah, sometimes things can be strange. Again, like I said, I had issues with it with the MMO reporter.
So Deceiverr, I just sent you Cal's cosplay Twitter, so you can see the detail she does in her cosplay.
Oh yeah, I recognize that Orgorger costume from last year.
Yeah, she did a phenomenal job. I was shocked that she didn't win.
Was she one of the ones that just was entering with the ultra fancy costumes just for the fun of it? Because I know there were some people who had there was one person who had a perfect, spot-on Arthas the Lich King outfit, and they were just in the for fun people at the end. They weren't actually competing.
No,
if they were, he would have won.
She went in competing, and I think she came third. Maybe I think she came in third.
Did I see her?
That's still pretty impressive.
I might have seen her on the Weird Al video.
Weird Al?
On the BlizzCon live stream, they were showing like Weird Al was like walking through, and he saw all these people in cosplay. I might have seen her on that. I'm trying to remember now because all that video is now gone because they get rid of that after a certain point.
You realize you can still probably find that somewhere in a dark corner on the internet. If you want, I can find you a shifty as hell link.
Nah, I'm good.
For the people who did the virtual tickets, they didn't get to see anything to do with Weird Al, due to the fact that it was like copyright reasonings or whatever that they couldn't show it, which made me sad.
I was watching. Because I watched it live.
Yeah, I did too with the virtual ticket.
Yeah, I watched it with the virtual ticket and I couldn't watch it.
Maybe it
Ouch.
Maybe it's a Canadian. No, I'm being serious. Maybe it's a Canadian.
It might be Canadian license.
Because over here in the U.S., I was able to watch it. What I didn't like was that they had some of the like the world building stuff. They had some of those panels offline. It's like I want to know how they designed the game. So some of those I've watched on YouTube. People, the person's shaky cam trying to like I'm trying to hold up the camera. Okay, here we go. And I think it's stable, but at home you're watching it go back and forth. Yeah.
I'm holding up the camera. I've been doing this for half an hour. My arm is tired, but I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah, and I've done that for stuff, but yeah. Oh, can I play the? I think we talked a lot about some of the 7.3 stuff. I mean, some of it is any news that you think that I missed. Because
I can't tell you because I missed most of what was said.
Ouch.
Anything in 7.3 that on anything that they've seen, Jared, that really stands out to you?
Well, for me, I'm just looking forward to the story stuff the most. That's what I really enjoy in the game. I mean, I like raiding and all that, but the story is what really pulled me into the game to begin with. So I'm looking.
Yeah, and 7.3
and having it be actual story content. 7.2, which was go grab me some nuts.
Yeah, someone was saying that that 7.2, everyone wanted class specific quests, so Blizzard put time in for that, and overall it made 7.2 look small when really it's 12 classes worth of content.
Yeah, so what I'm hoping, and I was kind of said this, but Mike started screwing. I'm hoping 7.3, the raid will probably drop the week or two after BlizzCon. And then Ian said in some of the interviews I read from Gamescom that this raid is going to be the last raid, but there will be some content after the story. but I don't think it's going to take this. I don't think the next expansion will take as long to get out as some people. I mean, the fears are understandable based on some of the stuff that's happened in the past, but they've done such a good job since Legion came out that I'm thinking the next expansion will drop in the summer.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of what took Legion long was because it was a huge structural change for the game. They rewrote a lot of the code that they've had in for a long time.
Yeah, I wonder too, because again, I just really got into the game going on 2 years ago now, the whole Mists of Pandaria era. And I know towards the end of Mists of Pandaria is when these large gaps in time happen. But isn't that also around the same time when they started working on Overwatch and some other games? So I wonder if that hurt too, if they cut the resources too thin, and hopefully they've learned their lesson. Do that again.
Yeah, well, and part of that I think was Titan. They were working on that project, so they pulled people like even Metzen went over to Titan for a long time.
Project Titan was, from what I managed to pick up, and I think it was actually more or less like a slightly different version of Heroes of the Storm.
I heard it was maybe a little bit more MMO-ish.
I did hear that, but I heard that like it would have been in the style of Heroes of the Storm. It would have been like similar combat style and that sort of thing. Okay. Then they scrapped it for basically Blizzard Dota 2 or Blizzard League of Legends.
Yeah, because I think Blizzard realized it was not going the way that they were hoping, and instead of releasing content that was not good, they said, "No, we're just going to scrap it." And
cough, cough, Faranar, cough, cough.
I'm blanking on that.
You're joking, right?
Seriously?
Right, you joined like at the end of war. You didn't hear.
Yeah, what happened?
Anything. I think Faranar was in Warlords, right? That wasn't the one in Legion?
I don't know who that is.
Faranar it was supposed to be a zone. Can't remember if it was for Legion or for Warlord. I think it was for Warlords.
Yeah, was that like this? It was like an island area that at one point during beta was there. Like there was not, you could go there, but there wasn't much.
Well, you could go there if you bugged it, which wasn't hard in the beta, from what I managed to pick up. But it was what turned into Netherstorm on Outland. Faranar turned into Netherstorm, I think.
Okay.
Because they were like, we're gonna scrap this, and it was supposed to be this like beautiful, lush green area, and they're like, we can do better, and then they didn't give us anything, and we're stuck with Ashran for like 1 year and 2 months or something like that. 14 months, I think.
Okay. Wasn't there supposed to be like a special island around Booty Bay area? Not Booty Bay itself, but there was like originally you could see in the far distance an island there, and then there was supposed to be something there, but no one could actually get there because you would die before you reached there, and you couldn't grave hop.
Maybe it was maybe that was GM Island, because I know from what I understand, every expansion and even sometimes in the patches, they move the location so that way it's harder and harder for people to try and bug their way to it.
Yeah, well, and people that have been to it say there's not much in there anyway.
Yeah,
I've seen the videos. It's nothing special.
I just love going there and seeing all the construction signs saying under work or still being worked and all that.
Yeah.
How the hell did you get to GM Island?
I didn't go for that one. Mount Hygel, I went there in vanilla.
I've seen the videos of Mount Hygel and GM Island. I've seen those.
Yeah, I don't know how my friends got to Mount Hygel, but they summoned me there. And so I got to see Mount Hygel way back in the day when it had all these construction signs up. And I thought it was the most cute, adorable thing ever. And FYI, it looks completely different now from when Cataclysm came out.
Yeah, especially seeing the video, it does.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the video. There was none of that big burned area. It was like all green, right?
Yeah, it was all green. And then there was this one giant pool in the middle that is extremely deep. And the only reason why I know that is because that's where these people would summon people randomly and then ransom their lives with gold.
Oh, I want to play. So Blizzard must be owned by Pixar because they released a Hearthstone short. That was amazing.
Hearthstone?
I haven't seen it.
I thought it was the Overwatch one.
There was an Overwatch one. There's both.
So I thought that the stuff was amazing because it was to be able to make a song like that and make it feel fun. I mean, it felt like Tangled and Frozen, But there's nothing wrong with homaging and stuff like that.
Well, I got that whole Pixar vibe from the Junkertown thing from Overwatch.
Yeah, I haven't finished watching the Overwatch one, but I thought it was really cute what I saw.
I thought it was actually kind of dumb. It felt too little kid and too Pixar.
That one felt more Looney Tunes.
Like I said, I haven't finished watching it, but if you look at the original cinematic that they brought over at Watch it was very cartoonish.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the feel that they're going for it, as it's something that you could probably watch on Saturday morning cartoons.
I found that the Junkertown one felt like a Looney Tunes cartoon. The May one felt more like Overwatch. They were both Overwatch, but like Junkertown, that one felt like I should have seen like Porky Pig in front of it,
That's all, folks.
So, yeah, I feel like I felt like that one. I should have shown that at the end. But it was well done. I enjoyed that one, but the May one, that I won't say any more than just that gave me chills. Oh
yeah, Junkertown really felt like a throwaway almost to me.
Yeah,
the story didn't go anywhere. I thought the jokes were kind of flat. I would say of all the Overwatch stuff that I've seen far, it was all of them.
Yeah,
and then May, it just rebounded right.
And I think like they were trying to do two shorts because Junkertown felt more like some of the Team Fortress 2 opening shorts that they do for characters.
I haven't seen
even
the
Team Fortress
one. I saw the May one.
Yeah, the May one was, as much as I'm not a fan of May, anti-fun, getting frozen in place all the time. That one was like that was really good. But the Junkertown one, it honestly did suck. Like, I love the cartoony feel of Overwatch. I think that's great because I love cartoons. But Junkertown was just bad.
Yeah, and especially the way it ended. It was just like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, no closure. Just, oh yeah, it's done. Bye, folks.
Yeah, I think they built that one for the teaser when they were doing.
But the Hearthstone one, I completely agree, Frazley. That I thought it was fantastic, and I had the same. When it was over, I just felt like, why haven't they made a movie?
Absolutely,
they could easily make a movie that would compete with Disney Pixar. I mean, I've kind of thought that for a while. Overwatch stuff they're doing, but especially with that Hearthstone cinematic, it was really well.
Oh, and
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Like, I've seen people. Some people seem to have trouble understanding Hearthstone. I saw complaints saying, "Oh, the style was too childish or serious enough," but it's not. It's like it's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be just a fun game that's a distraction instead of telling these serious stories like WoW.
Yeah, because Hearthstone's the one that did like One Night in Karazhan and stuff like that.
That's true. I did not like One Night in Karazhan. That just ruined the Halloween spooky feel of Karazhan to me, because I'm a lore whore, so I didn't like the way they twisted the lore in that. Plus, I couldn't use any of the cards because I'm cheap and I didn't want to pay for it. So,
well again, it was never meant to be canon in that one. It was more supposed to be just fun and strange. So like Hearthstone's not supposed to ever be canon.
Oh, I get that, but it was a little overkill for the way off canon. But Jer, what you said, I gotta say, be careful what you wish for, because after the Warcraft movie, definitely be careful what you wish for movies from Blizzard, because I loved the Warcraft movie because it was really cool for me to be able to see all of my favorite characters from the lore, like Duratan, Gul'dan, Orgrim, and etc. from the First War and all the books that I read. I thought that was really cool to see them on the big screen, but I will admit the movie wasn't perfect. It could have been done a little better. I know that with the second one, if they make it, it's going to be much better, but be careful.
My problem with the World of Warcraft movie, other than the fact I fell asleep during the action part, like I do with all action movies, don't ask me why.
Why?
I don't know. I really don't. I just fell asleep in the action parts. What really irked me, and this is only because I've seen this actor in many things, is the person who played Medivh. He did a great job, but I have seen him in so many things when he first started off that I had a hard time looking past that. Like, he did a good job. Don't get me wrong. He did a great job. It just, I still see him as a weakling little nerdy kid.
So he pulled you out of the character.
Yeah, he did for me.
So kind of like if you see Daniel Radcliffe doing anything other.
I don't know who.
Why is Daniel
Harry
Radcliffe
Potter
is the guy who played Harry Potter. Like, if you see him in any movie other than Harry Potter, you look at him and you go, "Why is Harry Potter in this movie?"
Yeah.
There's a movie on Netflix called Horn, and he plays in it, and I keep seeing him as Harry Potter with horns.
But what was weird is I definitely saw Emma Thompson, or is it Emma Thompson? Hermione?
Emma Watson.
I'm thinking of Emma Thompson, but Emma Watson is the one I'm thinking of. I saw Emma Watson as being Belle. So she did a good job in that one that I didn't see Hermione when I saw that movie.
Just don't look at the toys that they've made for her.
Yeah, we We discussed that, I think, in episode...
Toys?
Episode
The
9 or 10.
dolls that they made of her, and she looks like a man.
That's bad. That's really bad.
It's really horribly bad. Just look it up. It's actually a Disney doll too. Like Disney's name labeled it, everything.
Yeah, it was bad. And speaking of bad,
Frazley!
This is our last topic, and then we'll wrap it up.
I swear to RN Jesus.
What do you think of what Nintendo's done with the SNES Classic or SNES? They had the pre-orders and they sold out. And
it doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't. Amazon is being really strict too, because I think there was some pre-sales you could have done there, and they are going to make sure that whatever pre-sales are done, people are going to get their system.
That's good, because it sounds like because I was seeing like they sold out one in Walmart. Maybe they had no choice. Walmart canceled all the pre-orders when they accidentally let it go live. But yeah, it's like
Walmart's Walmart though. I'm not sure you can really count them when you're trying to make valid statistics. It's Walmart.
Walmart was still trying. See, what they were told that they were going to do a second, like Nintendo was going to do a second batch of the original Nintendo system. So that's what they were hoping on, so they can finish filling out the pre-orders. Well, Nintendo never did. They said, no, we're too lazy. We don't want to do it. So Walmart was kind of like, oh shoot, we have all these pre-orders and we can't get the orders in.
Yeah, and that's why I think, and that's probably why they canceled it. But
also Nintendo screwed up, not Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, Nintendo says that they can do something and then decide not to. It's the same thing with Blizzard. Blizzard's going to say, hey, we're going to do this. Yeah, we change your mind at the last moment. They have every right to do that.
Yeah, I can name at least 3 things off the top of my head they've done that. Here's the first 2. Project Titan, Faranar. Or Farallon. Farallon, I think that's what it was. Not Faranar. Yeah, Farallon.
So, yeah, no, there's tons of stuff. So, Nintendo, in a way, with their marketing, is actually pretty good because they can do another anniversary sale of the classic Nintendo 10 years from now, and tons of people will be still after it, so they can still make top money with it. Instead of saying, hey, we're going to give everyone what they want right away, well, 10 years from now, we won't make that money. We'll have to sell it cheaper, or we'll have extra stock, so it's basically sits and collects dust.
What I don't understand about... I was just going to say, what I don't understand about these things is, aside from the fact that, yes, you get a tiny system that looks like a Super NES or looks like a original NES last year, those things aren't worth the money at all, because it's pretty easy to find a Fire Stick these days for like $100 that has 500 old video games, including all the games that they put on these.
Well, and
I didn't bother getting the Super Nintendo one. Like, I have no interest in that because I still have my Super Nintendo and it still works. There is a game store not too far from me where they do the trade in old games, and sometimes they have like games that are brand new, never been opened for these old systems.
Well, and like
score.
I think that they should just add them to the Switch, and then you'd have instant Switch sales. I mean, if I could get the NES and the SNES classics on the Switch, I would probably have a Switch by now.
Well, they did that for the Wii and the Wii U in the eShop, that you could get some of the older games. Because I have some of the older games on my Wii U. I don't think I got any on my... not Wii U, my Wii. I don't think I bought any on my Wii U, but I got some of the older games on there so I can play them with people. And I have the old version of the controllers because that's what you have to work with it.
Yeah, I don't understand Nintendo that much anymore.
Same thing with all the old Pokemon games. They're now, it looks like every year or every time they're bringing out the newest games, they're putting the old games, an older generation, on the eStore. Like on September 22nd, you can buy Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver.
Wow.
Which was the one that had that town that people consider like cursed? That
would be in the original yellow, red, and blue, and Japan's version of green. And it was cursed because it was basically a grave city, and you needed
Wasn't it like the children who played the game and actually went to that city? Didn't a lot of them like commit suicide right after going to that town?
The music was pretty depressing.
Yeah, apparently it was the music.
It was
the music actually depressed the kids enough to make them commit suicide.
Search for Pallet Town. I think that's if I understand.
No, it's not Pallet Town. Give me a sec. I can tell you exactly what town it is.
I'll Google it the second you tell me. Oh, speaking of cursed places in Nintendo games and Frazley, this one is an accurate transition. It's not so much of a place, but who else really wishes that they could get the cursed copy of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Ben Drowned?
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of Ben Drowned?
No.
Dude. I mean, I think it's actually like a lie. I think it was just a creepypasta that someone made up. And I don't think Ben Drowned.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up after this because that's intriguing me now. Oh man, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna
Lavender Town.
Lavender Town, yeah. I mean, I remember because I was hearing about but I was hearing about the music there and that because I even heard the music. I was like, yeah, I can understand that music being very depressing. Well, and I'm also
gonna go and listen to it right now.
Well, hold on, we're gonna. I'm also feeling pretty depressed. It is the end of the show.
No.
Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. Let's go around and say where we can find each other.
All right, you can go first. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you can go first. Go.
Oh, you can just find me on Twitter at JaredPlaysWow. Thanks for having me on again, and hopefully if you have me on next time, won't have these goofy.
Oh, absolutely, and yeah, I'll definitely have you on again.
And you can find me on Twitter at Lady_Emma.
Yes, and help you with like the word cookies and stuff like that. And Deceiverr,
I need more souls. I need a lot more souls.
And Deceiverr, are you currently listening to Lavender Town?
I just heard it, and I don't really see what's so creepy about it. I really don't.
It's also the story behind it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of immune to fear, so
it's not
good luck scaring me.
It's not fear. It's not scary. It's depressing.
Yeah. Where can we find you on the depressing internet, Deceiverr?
Yeah, my internet is not depressing.
Okay.
So that was offensive. No, it really wasn't. I'm not bothered at all. You can find me on Twitter at Deceiverr_13, and that's Deceiverr with 2 R's. And you can also find me on YouTube at as well, Deceiverr13, 2 R's, no underscore, but there is a space between the last 2 R's and the 13, and it's the number, not the spelling. Yes. So go over there and subscribe to my channel, and I actually just uploaded a video earlier today, which I have already received plenty of criticism for, because I'll admit it was a little bit of a lazy video, but I just wanted to be putting something up. It's just a goofy little thing with some stupid music and goats flying off of cliffs.
No,
go watch that and hit subscribe.
It was more feedback. I mean, any work has feedback, but I still thought it was a fun video. So, and you can find me at Frazley.com. You can that's kind of where I put out all my properties. I'm at Frazley-tastic, and in about 1 hour you'll be able to find. I have a new weekly news show called The Frazley Report. It's a short news segment each week and tomorrow will be about Argus. So that I'm just doing that. And then actually, if you're listening to the recording and you made it this far, you'll probably hear this as soon as we head out. So yeah, you'll hear it at the end of the episodes. But yep, that's the show. Don't forget. Oh yeah, Lady Emma, let me.
Don't forget to eat my law cookies. Jeez, trying to steal that.
Yes, and those law cookies don't have any cheese, so they're also like Poutines. And Deceiverr.
They're golden free.
Yeah, and they're golden free. And Deceiverr, what's your exit.
Don't forget to buy Punty McGee's boots. Punting gnomes since 2004.
Owie! And Jared, do you have any closing lines?
Never hoard. That's all.
Absolutely. Preach it.
What did you just say?
You heard him.
Jer, prepare to die.
A gnome punting joke definitely deserves a hoard joke.
Absolutely.
I make a gnome punting joke every episode. It's just kind of my thing.
True.
And I try to get people to eat my lock cookies because they're better than anyone else's lock cookies, especially because they're goddamn free.
And be awesome to everyone. Welcome to the Frazley Report, a short news report every Friday by the Awesome Gnome. I am Frazley, and this is your news report for Friday, August 25th, 2017. Argus is coming this Tuesday, August 29th. People are terrified. Doomsayers are in Dalaran. What do we do? Many people have wondered if we should cower under our beds, go to another MMO like Fluffy Bunny World, or go to Argus. I say, let's give them payback! They are not prepared for us! Before you go to the new planet, experts like Dr. Von Smellyfet say to make sure you have your proper snacks, beverages, and make sure to let the dog outside. Let loved ones know you will not be back until you burn through all of the content. By the way, parents in Dunmorrow are looking for their daughter, Ava. She disappeared yesterday with her pet mouse. They like to sing, so if you spot them, please alert the local authorities. Thank you for tuning in to the Frazley Report. You can find us at frazleyreport.com. Remember to be awesome to all and have a great weekend. We'll see you here next Friday, after we have got to experience Argus. Frazzlecast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment. Views expressed by the host and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended.